Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping into Happiness. We are your hosts. I am Rachel.
And I'm Maggie. Happy March.
I know. Oh my gosh, this is the first episode in March. Holy cannoli. Speaking
Holy
of March,
Bob.
so a few weeks ago, my darling cousin Emma was on. This is her birthday
Yes.
month. She is a St. Patrick's Day baby. I know. So her birthday's coming up. It's very exciting. So hi,
Hi, Emma.
Oh, it was so funny. My mom, after that episode, even my mom called me about the apple thing. And I had people commenting on our Instagram being like, I had no idea opal apples didn't brown. Emma, you taught so many adults
Literally
something new.
educated.
Yeah, that was so cute. So, well, hello, friends. Welcome to March, everybody. I don't know if I have any announcements this week, Maggie. What about you?
No, spring is coming, my friends, where you live, that it's
gosh.
cold. Hang in there.
We're
already boiling where we are by the time that this episode goes live.
Very tricky here in Southern California. Like we're at that time of year where first thing in the morning, it's in the 30s and I'm so cold. I have like boots and like 3 jackets on and a beanie and like my heater up to like 80 in my car. And then by the time I get in my car in the afternoon, I'm like dying, taking everything off. I'm like, oh, I hate that. It's just so hot. It's just so cold. It's so hot. But yeah. I do want to remind everybody, though, that I know this is still a new thing. So just a quick reminder, every episode now, remember when we talk about stuff, if we mention products, recommendations, things like that, there is a blog post associated now. So it's on our website, droppingintohappiness.com, and it is in the blog section. So there will be, I really had every intention to do it for every episode, but literally there was one for the first episode and then like episode 54 or something. So
hey, baby steps.
And I was like, maybe I'll backtrack and do old ones. I'm like, no, it's just from here on out. It's just from here on out. It's going to happen. I don't even think
hashtag growth.
Now. I know.
It's fine.
So yeah.
Look, just the fact that we uploaded 50 plus episodes and never skipped a week.
Yeah.
Like we're good on the blogs. We'll keep doing them moving forward, but let's not beat ourselves up, Rachel.
I know. And like, I'm actually really digging the blogs too. Cause like 2 or 3 weeks ago when you and I were talking about certain headbands and like, it was our talismans episode. I have like pictures on there of the ones that we've used. And if there's ever pictures in the blog post, you can click the picture and it will take you to the link of what we discussed. And I'm liking the visual presentation. So remember, dropping into happiness.com.
I'll go give it some love. Check it out.
I know. So easy. Like I said, you guys can reach out to us on there as well. A lot more people are utilizing that to contact us. So yeah, it is there for you guys. So I guess that's going to be it. And we'll hop on into this week's topic. So this week was actually a listener requested by listener Romy. Hello, Romy.
Hi, Romy.
Romy's very active on our social media too. So Romy wanted us to talk about goal setting, but a little more specific. Okay, so let me explain. So Romy says, I always want to set these goals. And then I don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. Like, and it 100% reminded me of what Maggie said probably like 6 weeks ago about how Maggie, like, you're like, I always want to do all of the things. I get all of these great ideas and then it just doesn't happen because there's too many things. So I kind of think that's how we want to start this episode. We're going to break it down. So when it comes to our goals, where do we start? Where do you start with a goal? Because we've talked about them in workshops too. Like, do you remember how did you guys talk about breaking down goals when you were doing WW workshops?
Well, first, and when it comes to wanting to do all the things, I think you have to ask yourself what's going to give the biggest impact and the most like peace, joy, and sense of accomplishment. So, though I want to be someone who eats healthy every day, drinks all their water every day, gets great sleep, has an amazing skincare routine, like cooks all of their food at home, takes all their vitamins and supplements, goes on walks with the dog, and hits the gym. And like does box jumps, jumping rope, like I could keep going. Just like all the things that I want to be, right? You have to think like, okay, if I want to go from doing none of those things to doing all of those things, or even just doing some of those things, then you have to get really serious about, well, what's going to actually have the biggest impact on the way that I feel, on the way that I show up in the world, what's interesting me the most out of all the things, like what's getting me the most excited, and like I said, what's going to give you the most like sense of peace and accomplishment. So for me, what I've learned throughout my health and wellness journey, because overall all of my goals and interests and things that I want to do all tie back to health and wellness, because it's really important to me, and that's just what's been my main focus for a few years now.
Yeah.
So then you think about, well, I know that I feel the best, I feel the most accomplished and most successful when I'm focusing on my food pillar. But that's going to be different for everyone. So some people might feel really excited and feel great when they're focusing on their hydration. I didn't focus on how much water I was drinking for a year or more on WW, and
Yeah.
sometimes I still don't. Like, I just, because it's not an inspiring goal. Like, for you, working on water is really important to you, and it's
Yeah.
inspiring you right now. For me, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'll drink my 2 Dr. Pepper zero sugars, and then I'll try to drink water the rest of the day, or like vice versa. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not like that something that's keeping me engaged or motivated right now, and that's okay. So we have to think. Same with like the sleep pillar. Like, I didn't start paying attention to sleep until 2 years into my journey, and even now it's not like the main focus every single day. So I think first you have to like think about like what category is going to bring me the most sense of joy and accomplishment. Then, okay, if we're going to pick the food pillar, or I think the water idea is easier to like use this as an example. So
Okay.
Rachel's been working on the water, right?
Yeah.
So instead of saying I want to drink more water, great. So then you have to think about, what are all the steps that would go into drinking more water? Like, really breaking down each step. Well, you have to have a cup of some sort.
Yeah.
Seems crazy.
Source of
but
water.
Like, we all have like our own things. I know, like, if my cup is not going to fit in the cup holder, I'm probably going to be less likely to take it with me. Or if
Yeah.
my cup doesn't have a straw. So
Yeah.
you have to have a cup. Maybe some of us have to have multiple cups. But you have to have a cup. All right, then that cup has to be filled with water. So I know that I'm not going to drink out of the water fountains at school. So I bought and we have a refrigerator in our classroom, which is totally awesome. So I bought our classroom a water pitcher with a filter.
Ooh.
And it's called Zero Water. I think it's like a Brita basically, but that's a different brand.
Yeah.
So I bought that. Okay, well, that has to stay full, because if it's not full, then I'm not going to pour water out of it, or I'm going to be very annoyed when it's time for me to put in the water, and then water's going to feel like a chore and not fun.
Mm-hmm.
So then now it's on I have TAs, so I'm very blessed, but it's on the TA task list every day to make sure Miss Smith's pitcher is filled up with water. Now, not all of us are going to have high school students helping us reach our goals.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a step that has to be taken, right? Then, like, the water has to be nearby and ready to go. Oh, and do you drink it with ice or no ice? Like, everybody's journey is different. So now that you've, like, taken the time, I feel like I'm talking a lot. Sorry, Rachel. But then you, like, break down all the steps, all the pieces. So then, first goal, I'm going to get a cup that I like. Or I'm going to
right?
dig
Because
through
that's
my
where it all begins,
drawer,
is the cup.
my cupboard with cups, and I'm going to go through all my cups, and maybe I'm going to do a purge of the cups that don't spark joy anymore. I've done that a few times, and now I only have like 3 cups.
I probably need to do that.
I just wasn't using them. Like, I have to remember to wash this cup. I'm like, this is your sign. When's the last time you washed your emotional support water bottle? Okay, because if it's been more than a couple of days, it's time. Like, so then, like, that's the goal. And then if you accomplish the goal of like finding your cup or clearing out your cupboard or whatever, then celebrate that. Okay, like, what's the next goal? So the next goal is like, okay, I gotta fill this up.
But see, I
That's
love
it.
like it's just starting so low, because remember, for those that don't know, Maggie and I used to be WW coaches, and like
formerly known as
formerly known as, and every time people, and I was so known for this, like if you came into my workshop and then we were setting goals, and your goal was, oh, I want to drink more water this week, I would stop everything and be like, what does that mean? What
Yeah.
does that look like to you?
Right.
Because my amount of water could be different than somebody else's amount of water. So like, what does that look like to you? Is there a certain volume that you want to drink? Is there a certain time of day you want to have it done by? Like, there's a lot of moving parts, but I
There's
love where
so
you're
many
starting
elements.
with like get the cup. Because remember, oh gosh, Maggie, I don't remember what episode it was, and it was such a long time ago. But your goal that week was to stand on your yoga mat. Do you remember?
And I certainly did.
Yes.
I certainly did stand on my yoga mat, and I did more yoga that week than I have since then.
Yeah.
But the thing too, it seriously does have to be that small because
Yes.
because if the water cup is not filled with water, you're not going to drink water. So
Yeah.
you have to fill up the cup. So
Yeah.
filling up the cup, I'm going to fill up the cup once a day this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything else that you do beyond that is a bonus.
Yes.
And I think people move on too quickly. They're like, "Oh, well, I drank my water
one
cup
cup, yeah.
6 times this week, so let me go for 7 times 2 water cups next week." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down." You know,
Yeah.
like somebody in workshops we were talking about former coaching, you always knew if I wasn't vibing with your goal, if I asked, "Now, is that truly doable? Do you think that's truly doable for you?"
Yeah.
It was like in my heart I knew. I was like, that person's drinking no water, and now they're saying they're going to drink a gallon of water every day. That makes no
Yeah.
sense. Stop doing that. Why do we set
Yeah.
goals like that? No. But it's because like we see like we were talking about in last week's episode of don't diminishing our goals, and we see other people drinking a gallon of water, so we think,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, I have to drink a gallon of water like starting yesterday. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, first of all, your bladder's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
And then I'll never be able to like teach my class because I'll be in the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, you have to fill up the cup, and then you have to like I've mentioned before, and a lot of you use this term now, and it's so cool: wash, rinse, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So like live in the truly doable goal for a long time. I promise you're going to be doing more than you were doing in the past, and you're not even going to be realizing it. And again, just like I say, anything you do above on the water goal is a win. Same with any other healthy choice you make that week.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, for me, who's someone like, I want a better skincare routine and I want a better nighttime routine and I want you just gotta pick one thing. And then if you
Mm-hmm.
do anything extra bonus, celebrate yourself. Like, whoa, like I washed my, or I remember to put SPF on like 4 times this week. Woohoo. But that
Yeah.
wasn't even my focus. So like, cool, like, yay you, but I'm not going to be focusing on SPF next week because I'm still really focusing on my water. Or
Yeah.
like whatever it is. Like I could do the same exact example with food pillar if I've been saying I want to eat at home more this week. There's a lot of steps that go into eating at home or eating foods from home. There
Yeah.
is the list. There's the inventory of the groceries you already have. There is
Meal planning.
picking out the recipes. When are you
Mhm.
going to cook what? What
Yeah.
materials do you need to cook with? Or is everything clean? Is everything out and ready to go? Like, what's your schedule going to be like on the days that you want to cook? Like, are you going to have time? And then are you going to sit down and eat, or does it need to be something that you're grabbing and going? Are you packing it up to take it somewhere? Like, there are a lot of elements, dude.
Yeah.
And so I'm the kind of person who can say like, I'm gonna meal prep all 21 meals this week, and I'm gonna eat all my meals at home, and like I might do it 1 time or 2
Yeah.
times because I'm a resilient person and I'm stubborn and I will do the thing. But then what? I'm gonna get tired, or something's gonna get in the way, or and then I'm like, oh rats, that didn't become a habit. Well, it's because I didn't take the small steps. Just like I used to steam my clothes every Sunday before work, and I was doing that for like 12 weeks straight, and then all of a sudden I stopped doing it.
With your new steamer that your mom got you?
Well, so I was doing it with the handheld, and I was like ironing, and I was getting all my clothes picked out like on the Sunday
Yeah.
before work, and I was like, woohoo, this is so awesome, and this makes life so much easier, and I totally see the value in this. And then I randomly just stopped doing it one day.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting back in the habit of like at least steaming my outfit in the morning before I leave. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like to go back to that version of me who has all of my clothes ready to go on Sunday before school, because I do see the value in it. But it's like, Maggie, how many things can we do at once? Honestly. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, so you have to break it down and give yourself grace if I'm like, oh, well, I went too hard too fast on that goal.
Yes.
So got to tailor it back. And it's a human thing. Like we all do it. Because
Absolutely.
we're competitive, or we're big dreamers,
I think
or
I've seen so many
influenced?
times that people think that I can't tell you how many times I heard this in a workshop. Someone who was brand new and they were like, "Oh, well, I have to clean up my entire kitchen today," and I'm like, "Woo, why? Why?
Why?
Why are you completely overhauling your entire life on day one?"
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe let's say, okay, I'm not going to buy these cookies anymore. Cool. Those cookies are not like I'm going to find a lower point version of my favorite shake. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they thought they had to throw everything away. And I think
Or
I mentioned in the last episode, like 2010 Rachel, I'm going to keep referring to that girl because she was 2010 Rachel.
bless her.
Why no wanted to do all of the things all at once, completely overhaul. And 3 days in, when I could not keep that standard or that level, I was a failure. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
And
then
then
you beat
it was,
yourself up.
yeah, and it was an all or nothing. And I think we even have an episode on the all or nothing mentality.
Right. Circle back.
Because I wasn't really thinking, what do I want to accomplish with this goal? What is something, and it's so funny that you said, the goal that you tend to focus on is something that makes you excited. I feel like the goal that I tend to focus on is a thing that I'm struggling with the most. Cause I'm like, I'm pretty good at this. I'm pretty good at that. This is the one that I would like to give focus to, is the thing that I feel like I'm either, kind of losing track, or it's getting off my balance. And I'm like, okay, this is what I want to focus on. And so that's just, I love that. It's funny though, like that we both approach it from two completely different angles.
I feel like too, I do focus on an area that I might feel I'm struggling with, but I try to find something exciting within that.
And that's
right?
a great idea, though,
Because
especially
I
to make
feel
it exciting.
if
Yeah.
I'm super struggling with something and I can't seem to break ground, then I'm just going to be frustrated
Yeah.
with myself. Versus like if there's something that I feel like, oh, I might do this pretty well, and I'll build some positive momentum, and then it'll start to leak into like other areas that I am struggling with. But I thought about another example or visual, if you will, about the breaking down the goals part when you mentioned the cleaning out the cabinet or the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, cleaning out the closet. So I remember when I first started my WW journey, I have a clothing addiction. I'm way better now. I haven't even bought clothes in a while, which is like crazy because I was buying clothes like every month for a while. But anyway, I had a walk-in kind of closet situation, and it was jam-packed with stuff. And from a lot of stuff that like fit me presently, a lot of stuff that might have been even a little bit too big, and a lot of stuff that was too small. And this was when we went into lockdown. I was like, oh, what better time than any to conquer my closet? And technically, I had a lot of free time, but that is a very overwhelming, mentally exhausting task because I was going through each individual item of clothing. I was trying it on. I was photographing myself in it. I was posting some of it to sell. I was getting some of it to donate.
I remember that. Yeah.
So I broke it down into categories of like tops. And like, you're just going to get through tops and don't worry about it. And then it was like dresses and then skirts and then pants. You know, it was like breaking it down into like a little bit more doable chunks. So eventually I got through the task of getting through the closet, but I didn't focus on that bigger idea at first. I just try to break it down into section by section. And now like that's how I'll go through my closet all the time now. It's just like section by section. And once you get through the big haul of it, then you can like, it's easier the next time. I think that's like that with a lot of goals. Like once you get through the big breakdown.
That metaphor makes me think of, I used to be, so I think I mentioned in the last episode, this is my second marriage. Well, my first marriage, my husband was in the Army. I cannot tell you how many times that we moved, and I had to get into this system of like when I would pack and or unpack, because that too is such an enormous task. And especially if your partner is not there to help you, if they're overseas, maybe. I had to like really break it down. Like, okay, I'm going to do the kitchen today, and not just the kitchen. Now that I'm in the kitchen, I'm just going to do cabinets, or I'm just going to do bottom half, or I'm just going to do perishables, or I'm just going to do, and I had to really go lower and lower and lower. And when we used to do WW workshops, And I think we keep talking about pillars. And for anybody who doesn't know what the pillars are, so we have 4 that we like to discuss. So food, activity, sleep, and mindset. So any one of those pillars, I used to always tell everybody, pick one pillar, pick all 4 pillars. But whatever goal you choose, you have to get specific. And I think what we're trying to say to everybody today is don't overload yourself for one with goals. It's okay to go into it with just that one goal. Like I said, if it's, and this is another thing too, when it comes to goals, don't have a negative goal, if that makes sense. So we're not going to say, okay, like, so for an example, I don't want to sit there and watch TV every night. That's my goal. I don't want to do that anymore. Okay. Well, if that is the goal we're shooting for, maybe the goal be at 7:00 every night, I'm going to turn the TV off and pick up my book. Or even if it's just one night this week, I'm going to turn the TV off and go talk to my significant other, or call my mom, or call my sister, just so that you're not, see, even if it's just that one time.
Something that you're actually positively doing.
Yes, in action.
We do this in theater class every day that we say, hello, my name is, insert name, I'm feeling, insert feeling here. And my intention for today is blank. And that's for the hour that we're in class. It's not like, oh, my intention today is to like finish my homework and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like in this class. And it usually has something to do with the objective that we're doing or whatever. But then some students, it's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm feeling really tired. And my intention is to not fall asleep. We're like, ooh, flip that. My intention is to stay awake. Right?
Yeah.
Because really that's exactly what you're saying is like it's a positive and it's not a no or a not. It's a this is what I'm going to do. Not what I'm not going to do.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
I know it was
the nail on the head.
When it came to, I know this is kind of a silly one too, but especially when we were in lockdown, I was home all the time. And so were my kids and my husband. And I was just like, I felt very overwhelmed with my house at that point. And that was another one I had to do. Like, instead of thinking, oh, I had to clean the entire house every single day, it was okay. Monday, I'm, sweeping. Tuesday, I'm wiping things down. You know what I mean? And so I had to really, and that helped my brain a little bit more with breaking that down too, because it just can be so overwhelming. So breaking our goals down into, and we've talked about the small steps, but get very specific with your small steps, guys. And like we said, don't think that it has to be this big deal, and you don't have to do 5 different small steps this week.
Right. Like I hear some people that make goals in every like facet of their health. So like a food related goal, a fitness related goal, a sleep related goal, all of this. And I don't want to diminish anyone's goals here, but I'm just saying act with caution because you really don't have to do the most. Like, you really don't. Just pick one thing. That
feels overwhelming to me just thinking about it. Making one for every single pillar. Too much for me.
It's just so interesting. So,
I mean, and we've talked about building habits. Yeah, building habits is going to be it. I mean, it's in the name. Build. It's going to build on it.
Building takes time, my dudes.
And like Maggie said, we've started with the whole wash, rinse, repeat. It's okay to do it multiple weeks in a row. If you're like, cool, I crushed that last week, I want to maintain that again. And I want to do this until it gets to a point where it just feels like second nature. And then I'm going to add on to it, or then I'm going to focus on a different pillar. Because y'all, this is another podcast topic I want to talk about, but it's not, okay, how did I want to say it? This journey is a roller coaster, not a highway. It's going to go up.
Life is a highway.
I know. That comes to mind too. But it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. It's not always going to be a straight line. So we've got to be able to do this for the long haul, though, because it's going to fluctuate. And so we have to build these things little by little by little by little. So that it's sustainable, that it becomes a thing that we do for the rest of our lives. Because I think that was a problem, too, in my case. I kept thinking, oh, all done. Or I'd hit a certain timeline I had given myself and be like, oh, I did it. Let's go back to everything before, instead of just building onto it and understanding that this is a habit I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to be healthy. Should I lose weight? Awesome. But that was not that was not my intended goal. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to sleep better. So we're building these little habits, one little step at a time. And like we said, I hope this is helping Romy, because I know Romy was like, I know what I want to do. I just, like, where do I start? Where is ground zero? And so like Maggie was talking about, like with water, like even if it's just setting your cup out, just set the cup out. If you don't get water,
set it out.
Yeah, set the cup. And I love that you called it an emotional support water bottle. Find you an emotional support water bottle.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that.
I love mine. It's covered in stickers, and they bring me joy, which I have a dropping into happiness sticker right here.
Yay! Wait, is that a Star Wars one in there too, I see?
Oh, yeah, like a Florida Darth Vader.
Oh, that's cute.
Or not, I mean,
Stormtrooper.
Sorry, y'all, brain fart. We were talking about Darth Vader in the last episode.
Yeah.
And then this is a baby. So our gym has a dog. Well, it's the owner's dog. His name's Kilo. And this is baby Kilo, and he's so cute. Like when he was a puppy.
Funny.
I don't even have my own dog on my water bottle, but I
know, and that's what I was.
But I have this dachshund that's dabbing.
I'm like, so how do you not look? You want to see what I did, Maggie? This is a little bit of a tangent, but and I hope my sister doesn't see this before I send this to her. And I got one for my husband for Valentine's Day too, but I got one for my sister for her car, because y'all can do these kinds of things. And I wish more people did this because it's so funny. But look at what I got my sister for her car.
Oh my God.
For anybody who is not watching on YouTube, I got an air freshener of my face. And I got one for my husband too for Valentine's Day. But
oh my gosh, I should have gotten that for my parents. They would have freaking lost it.
Look, it's called Dangle It. And this is not a paid this is just, it showed up, and
not
it's
a paid sponsor.
But you can do Bristol. Do one of Bristol for your car. That'd be so cute.
That would be so cute. I need to do that.
I know, and it was so cute. It was so easy to do. I know, yeah. The brand was called Dangle It, for those people who aren't watching. Yeah, and you can do just the head. You can do a whole body. So if you have a cute little picture of Bristol, and they can cut out her body, and like it'll be like her little hanging in the window.
Yes, oh I'm totally gonna do that.
I love stuff like that. I know. All right, it is time for goals and recommendations, and I think you went first last week, so I will go first this week. I'm like, let me see. I wrote mine down. Okay. Oh, yes. My goal this week. Like, good thing I wrote it down because I totally forgot. So for those that don't know, I work at a radio station, and I know that sounds super fun and glamorous, but y'all, I sit behind a desk a lot. And then I come home and I have a desk at home, and I sit a lot here when I do my editing, when I do research, things like that for the podcast. I'm sitting all the time. So today, actually, it arrived. I got a standing desk. Probably not as fancy as Maggie's, where like it has like a little electric up and down, but definitely I can like change the levels, and I could stand up to edit. And I'm so excited. So I could actually be like on my feet and moving my body. So my goal this week is to stand to edit at least one day this week. And it doesn't have to be all night. Like it could be 10, 15 minutes, but I want to just stand for a little bit while I'm working from home. So that's my goal this week, is just to do it once. I'm going to put this bad boy together. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll even post a picture of it on our
I'm
socials,
so excited for you. I love my standing desk. I don't, I'm like wondering what I'm going to do now, because I don't do the workshops. So I'm like, I need to use my desk. So what am I going to do?
I know.
Yay.
So that's that. And then my recommendation is, I want you guys to step outside of your comfort zone. Like, obviously not getting super uncomfortable, but like that's mine for this week, is I'm going to stand up. You know what I mean? Like that's a goal of mine, is because some days I'm not hitting my step goal, and I'm like, oh, I would really like, what is a way outside of the box that I could do that? So maybe it's not, maybe thinking outside the box when it comes to your goals. Maybe not stepping outside your comfort zone necessarily, but maybe more of the box. Right? Because I'm like, I want to get more steps in. Well, maybe if I'm standing up editing, I'll like sway from side to side. You know what I mean? Or just those little extra movements I'd like to get into my day.
Positive momentum in your life.
I think so too. So yeah, that's my recommendation, is to think outside the box when it comes to your goals this week. So, Maggie?
My star goal is to continue tracking fearlessly. You know, we've been talking in this episode, and I'm like, that needs to be my sole focus. Activity, bonus. Sleep, bonus. Water, bonus. I need to focus on tracking fearlessly. Oh, even healthy food choices, bonus. Just track fearlessly. Like,
Yeah.
get it in your dang app, girl. I hope that I'm doing well with that. Future Maggie,
Yeah.
you go. You've got this. My we do record these ahead of time.
Yeah.
My recommendation also, again, random, but I do get questions about this a lot. And this is called a gym boss for those that are watching on the YouTube. And I know
Is that the
some of
thing
our
somebody
members,
thought it was a pedometer?
yeah, some of our
Yeah, what it was?
members, like former members, I don't know what to call them, former workshop peeps, whatever.
Yeah.
They said they were gonna watch more on the YouTube now, so they could see us. So hopefully
Yay!
they're watching. But anyway, it looks, I guess it does look like a pedometer, but it's called a gym boss, and it's an interval timer. So you can wear it, and you
Oh,
can use it for your walk running, or you can use it like in the gym if you have a workout that's like do something for 2 minutes and then take a rest. You
yeah.
can set the timer, and it's really cool, and it's only $20, and it's battery operated. You can get it on
Nice.
Amazon. So I love this thing. And the reason why I love this thing is because I've tried a few different apps that do intervals, and the
Mm-hmm.
apps are never foolproof in that sometimes they crash or they freeze or they pause the workout or like things happen, and
Yes.
then your interval gets thrown off, and like I get annoyed when that happens. So this like
Yeah.
doesn't ever do that. It's so
Yeah.
steadfast and faithful to me. So yay.
Cool. I will put the
The
link to
gym
that in the
boss.
show notes, and it will
And in
be
the
on the blog
blog.
post.
On the
Yes.
blog,
On
yes.
droppingintohappiness.com. We do have a
Yes,
website.
plug. Shameless plug for the blog.
I'm very happy with the
Alright.
blog now. I'm like, I want more people to see it.
Yes.
All
Plug
right.
it
Well,
away.
that's fun. Okay. Do we have a quote
We do have a quote.
to wrap up today?
Oh, this is like actually March 1st. Like, not only was it
Yeah.
Happy March, but it's like literally March 1st. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we don't have a goal. I mean, a quote.
No.
I thought
Wait,
we did.
I think we
and
do. I mean,
don't.
I think we do, and
Unless
I
you
just haven't
didn't
sent
send
it
me
to
an
you.
updated. Okay.
I did not send you an update, so I have the quote. Okay, quote this week
Whoops.
from Unknown. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not.
Ah. Stop.
I know.
It's deep. Stop
know.
that.
You're like, oh, that hit my core. Okay.
Yeah, in the gut right there. Oh.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for dropping by.
Have a magical day.
And have a magical March.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Bye.
Bye.
You're frozen.